ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनेति नामिनि। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्देशतारिणि वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा. So we have been discussing how Sri Rupa and Sanatan Goswami they approached Mahaprabhu for the first time in the place of Ramakali. Well, Mahaprabhu was traveling from Puri to Vrindavan. That even a Mlecha king like Nawab Hussain Shah, he could understand the potency and identity of the Supreme Lord, and he completely, offered, his glories at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And then, while Mahaprabhu was staying at Ramkali, of course, Mahaprabhu's motive of traveling Ramkali to give darshan to Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. When Mahaprabhu was there, Rupa and Sanatan, in the midnight, they came and offered Dandavat Pranam to Mahaprabhu. And especially once we call ourselves as a Rupa Nugas, we should meditate on this pastime. The way Rupa and Sanatan, they approached Mahaprabhu, and especially on this part of this Chaitanya Charitamrita, Narottam Das Thakur, he was so inspired that he has composed this beautiful poem. Right, it's like as it is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He really got that in this beautiful bhajan, this Gauranga Karuna Karo. Gauranga Karuna Karo Dinahina Jane Mashama Patita Prabhu Nahi Tribhuvane. So what is happening here? Here Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's mentioned that Ardharatre Dui Bhai Aila Prabhu Sthane Prathame Medila Nityananda Haridasa Sange. So once again, they didn't approach directly Mahaprabhu. So they approached the associate of Mahaprabhu, like Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. Once again, this is a mood. We don't feel ourselves qualified to approach directly, right, the Supreme Lord or even spiritual master. We have to approach, through the associates of the Lord. It is so instructive for us that how a devotee feels utterly disqualified even to approach the Supreme Lord. Tankara ଦୁଇ ଜନ ଜଣାଇଲା ପ୍ରଭୁର ଗୋଚରେ ରୂପ ସନାତନ ମିଲିକା ଆଇଲା ତୁମ ଦେଖିବାରେ. So Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, then they offered Rupa and Sanatan to Mahaprabhu. And they had so much pleasure seeing that how these two, elevated ministers of this king, Ravir Khas and Sakar Malik, with so much of humility, they are approaching Mahaprabhu, leaving everything, right? So they didn't have any pride, with any tinge of pride, because once we start, forget about before coming to Krishna consciousness. Even after coming to Krishna consciousness, we have so much of dambha. Sometimes we have a seva dambha. I'm performing this devotional service, or I'm performing this seva, that seva, and how beautiful I'm doing, how expertly I'm doing. Then we develop so much of seva dambha, or we sometimes develop also tyaga dambha. Oh, I have renounced, this activity, that activity, and I'm living so devotional life now. That's called Tyagadamha. But Lord, He does not tolerate a tinge of Tyaga, because He feels that like that Dambha is really the barrier, is that wall which and keeps us away from Krishna. Um, because of our Dambha, because of our enviousness, and that is the sole reason that we have come back to this material world. And as long as we have that, we cannot really approach the Supreme Lord. That's why even a devotee, like he even doesn't consider himself as a devotee, and that this beautiful verse also it is mentioned, right? Like how a devotee says that Amita Vaishnava a buddhi hoila. Like once I think that I'm a Vaishnava, then what is the problem? Then Amanina Haiva Ami. I'll not be able to offer respects to others, because they then I will think that, oh, I have become Vaishnava. Now I will expect the glories from others. I will expect respect from others. And then I will develop the desire for pratishtha, for fame, prestige, with so many things, because these are really the pisachas, these are the weeds, that come in our devotional service. How much we should be careful for this. Pratishtha si hudaya, dusive, like this pollutes our heart. All this puja, lava, pratishtha. Then haive nirayagami, then we'll, our path to the hell is really open, and we just glide down there. So at each moment, how we should be careful and we should be diligent, right? Remembering this verse, like Trinada Peshanichena. It's not that, yes, we have recited this verse like every day, and we hear about it, but still our heart is filled with so much of Dambha. We don't have a tinge of realization to practice and to realize, right? What exactly Rupa and Sanatana, because Rupa and Sanatana, they didn't talk about this verse, they really felt from the heart. So what they did, Dui Gucha Truna Duhe, Dasane Dhariya, Gale Vastra Bandhi Pade, Dandavatahaya. So they offered their humble obeisances, putting a bunch of grass in their teeth, once they're putting a bunch of grass means, yes, feeling, that yes, we are insignificant, even this grass, because nobody really cares about grass. People really you know the trample upon the grass without even thinking of that. There is no abhiman that, oh, uh, I am the grass, I am feeding this mother cow, and mother cow is giving the milk, and this milk is really the subsistence of the humanity. That though yes, the grass is really the beginning of the food chain, and because of the grass we are there. But but how insignificant the grass always feels at each moment. Yeah, that's the mode of Rupa and Sanatana, how they approached Mahaprabhu. Like and not only just holding physically this grass, but from the heart, from the eyes, there are tears. Danya rodana kare ananda vihala Prabhu kahe utho utho hoila mangala. uh, with tears in the heart, in the eyes. And at the same time, Ananda Bihola, there was so much of ecstatic that, after millions and millions of lifetimes, and after so much of so much of waiting, so much of these things, they are now getting an opportunity, to come in front of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu just said that, please get up, Rupa and Sanatana, please get up. उठी दोई भाई तबे दंते तृणाधरी धन्य कर स्तुति करे गौरदय हरि. So and then Rupa and Sanatana Goswami still holding the grass in their teeth. They got up and they started offering prayers with folded hands. He said, Jaya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Dayamaya Patita Pavana Jaya Jaya Mahashaya. Yes, there will oh no say, Mahaprabhu, you are the Patita Pavana, you are the deliverer of the most fallen living entities. Right? There is no one else who can deliver, who is eligible or who has qualified to deliver. Uh, um, because if somebody is really diseased, only an expert person can really cure it. And here, Rupa and Sanatana, yes, we are that, you know, so much fallen that only you are qualified, only you have that potency to deliver us, right? And yes, especially we should once again and remember this, and fall at the lotus feet of the holy name of the Mahaprabhu and all the Vaishnavas, feeling ourselves insignificant, you know, to approach, and with that mood of the Strunada Pishanichana, we should chant our holy name. We should pray to the holy name. Harinam Prabhu ki jai. गौरांग महाप्रभु की जय, पंचतत्व भगवान की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की